Have you ever, imagined scouting that perfect piece of private hunting land? Maybe it's a neighbor's back 40 or some sprawling property you've just driven past thinking, wow, that looks untouched.
Oh, yeah. We all know that feeling.
Right. And then there's that knot in your stomach when you think about actually asking for permission.
The awkwardness.
Or just that quiet dread that maybe a simple handshake, the traditional way, it might not feel like enough anymore. Not in today's world, which seems, well, a bit more cautious.
Definitely more cautious. Yeah, people worry about liability.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into something that might seem a bit dry at first, but it's actually a powerful, often overlooked tool. It can genuinely unlock more hunting opportunities for you.
Okay.
Our mission here is to unpack how hunting liability insurance can act as this surprisingly effective lever, how it overcomes those access challenges. We've got a great article that lays it all out, and we're going to pull out the key insights.
This is good. So let's start with the basics then. What is hunting liability insurance really?
Good question.
At its core, it's basically a general liability policy. But, and this is the important part, it's specifically tailored. It has inclusions, endorsements that cover hunting activities, and crucially, all the parties involved.
All parties. So like me, the landowner.
Yeah, exactly. And what's really insightful from the source is that the good policies, the robust ones, often include member-to-member coverage.
Member to member? What's that?
So say someone in your hunting party accidentally injures someone else in the party, that's covered too.
Ah, okay. That's important for groups.
Huge for groups.
Mm-hmm.
And crucially, they cover the landowner themselves. That's often the biggest hurdle, right?
Right.
And they specifically don't have exclusions for common hunting stuff like tree stands, ATVs, firearms, things you actually use.
Okay, so it's designed for the reality of hunting.
Precisely. And it's not just about, bodily injury. It also extends to property damage.
Oh, interesting. Like if you accidentally drive over a fence post or something.
Could be that, an honest mistake. Or, unfortunately, sometimes it covers damage from someone showing, well, blatant disregard for crops or infrastructure. It covers a range.
Okay, got it. So for you listening, this deep dive is basically your shortcut. It's a way to understand a really practical solution for a common problem.
Yeah, it's about getting peace of mind, isn't it? Protection for you, sure, but maybe even more importantly, for the landowner.
Exactly. And we're going to explore 5 specific ways this type of insurance can help you gain access. And honestly, some of these strategies, they might genuinely surprise you.
Okay, never mind.
All right, let's unpack this first one. So you're trying to get access maybe from someone who's never allowed hunting before. It feels like an uphill battle, right? They're naturally wary.
Understandably so.
So how does bringing up insurance address that fundamental hurdle, like right from the start?
Well, you have to understand why they're wary. The article points out, hunting, if it's not done safely, it isn't a no-risk activity. That's just reality. So, by bringing up your hunting liability insurance in that very first conversation, maybe even that first email or phone call, you immediately diffuse their biggest worry, their primary concern.
Liability.
Liability, yeah. You're not just showing up asking for a favor. You're proactively demonstrating, hey, I've already thought about your potential risk, and I've addressed it.
Oh, okay. So you're showing them up front. They won't be held responsible if, something happens.
Exactly. And this isn't just about legal protection, though that's huge. It fundamentally shifts their perception of you. You go from being a potential liability, a potential problem,
So someone responsible.
a responsible, trustworthy partner,
Mhm.
someone who actually values their property and their peace of mind. It completely reframes that whole initial dynamic.
That is a powerful reframing. It sounds like it's doing more than just ticking a legal box. It's actually starting to build trust. Does this tie into like establishing accountability right from the get-go?
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's tough, right? How do you prove you're a responsible hunter if they've never met you before, if you don't have that track record with them specifically?
Think of the insurance as providing an instant, like a trust proxy. That's a good way to put it.
Trust proxy.
Okay. Yeah. So many landowners are hesitant, not just because of risk, but simply because they don't know you from Adam. They have no easy way to vet you.
Right.
So by mentioning your hunting liability insurance up front, you're instantly signaling, I'm responsible, I'm committed to protecting your interests too. It's tangible. It's proof you're serious.
It's not just words.
Exactly. It's not just a handshake and a promise. It's a professional gesture, really. It sets a standard.
Yeah.
And that can dramatically speed up that initial trust building. It moves the conversation away from, why should I trust this person?
More dead.
Towards, okay, this person seems serious, tell me more.
That's fascinating, this idea of it being an instant trust signal. I'm really curious how this actually plays out in that first interaction. Whether it's an email, a call, or that nerve-wracking knock on the door. Can it really lead to quicker access? Does the article mention that?
It absolutely suggests it can. Yeah, I mean, imagine you're a landowner. Maybe you get, I don't know, a dozen requests a year, maybe more.
Right. How do you stand out?
Exactly. How do you stand out? By explicitly stating, by the way, I carry hunting liability insurance. You're immediately taking one of their biggest potential objections off the table.
You're anticipating their fear.
Precisely. It's like saying, look, I understand your potential concerns and I've already taken steps to address them. It shows professionalism, consideration.
Yeah.
It just signals you're thinking beyond just your own desire to hunt.
And that can lower their guard a bit.
Significantly reduce their hesitation, yeah. It speeds up their decision-making process. I mean, the article implies, and I've heard anecdotes too, where just mentioning the insurance turned a likely no, or at least a, let me think about it for weeks, into a, okay, let's talk.
Wow. So it really can be a game changer for just getting your foot in the door.
Definitely a potential game changer there.
Okay, so what about if you're not hunting alone? Point 4 in the article talks about hunting groups. And we know leasing land is becoming a bigger deal, right? It can get expensive for one person.
Very expensive, yeah. Groups make sense financially.
So groups are a great way to share the cost, but they also mean more people on the property, which, from a landowner's perspective, might mean more perceived risk.
That's the potential downside for them, sure. More boots on the ground, more variables.
So how does insurance fit in here?
Well, if you connect this back, having a hunting liability policy that explicitly covers all the hunters in your group, that can be a massive selling point.
Ah, okay. Not just for the landowner.
Not just for the landowner, but actually for recruiting members to your group too. Think about it. For the landowner, it clearly reduces their overall exposure. Multiple individuals, but one clear policy covering them.
Addresses that more people, more risk, fear.
Directly. And for your hunting partners, knowing they're covered if there's an accident involving another member or even just generally on the property, that provides significant peace of mind for them.
Right. Everyone feels more secure.
Exactly. So it makes forming or joining a group easier, maybe more attractive. And it could potentially increase your group's chances of leasing more acreage, maybe getting rights to harvest more animals, simply because you've professionally managed and mitigated a major financial and legal worry for everyone involved.
So it makes the group proposal much stronger to a landowner who might be on the fence about multiple strangers on their property.
A much stronger, more professional proposal, yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Finally, the article touches on the idea of a track record. It sounds like this insurance isn't just a one-time thing you mentioned at the start. It's something that builds value over time. How does it help create, like, a verifiable positive history?
That's a really key long-term benefit. As you continue to carry hunting liability insurance year after year, and especially if you have a history of no claims, no issues,
Right.
you're actually building a verifiable reputation. It's proof of responsibility and safety over time. This isn't just you saying you're safe. It's an objective data point you can potentially reference.
Like a safety resume?
Kind of, yeah. A safety resume. That goes a long way with landowners, maybe even with other hunters if you're looking to join a club or lease. It demonstrates you're consistently safe, responsible, and frankly, a lower risk compared to hunters who don't have that kind of demonstrable history.
So the insurance policy itself becomes part of your credentials.
It becomes, yeah, not just a policy, but almost like a documented log of reliable hunting practices over the years. That makes you incredibly appealing to landowners who are, quite rightly, cautious about letting new people onto their property. It's a real strategic asset if you're thinking about scaling your hunting access over the long term.
Okay, wow. So let's try and wrap this up then. To recap, it seems really clear that hunting liability insurance is way more than just, a safety net.
And much more.
It's really a strategic asset for any hunter who's serious about gaining access to new land. It directly tackles those core landowner concerns, right? Reframing you as a responsible partner.
Yep, addresses the liability head on.
It helps you instantly establish accountability, gives you that tangible proof, that trust proxy you mentioned.
Builds trust quickly.
It can potentially grant quicker access by just cutting through that initial hesitation.
Speeds things up, yeah.
Makes group hunting more feasible and attractive by giving everyone peace of mind.
Covers the whole group, reassures the landowner.
And maybe most powerfully, It helps you build that strong, trustworthy, and verifiable track record over the long haul.
That long-term reputation, exactly.
So wait here. The real takeaway for you listening seems to be that understanding this and actually using this type of insurance, it can fundamentally change how you approach getting hunting permission.
Totally changes the game.
Yeah.
It shifts that dynamic, doesn't it? From what can be a really difficult, sometimes awkward negotiation
Yeah.
to something that feels more professional, more based on mutual trust and respect. It's about providing genuine peace of mind. For you, yes, but critically, for the landowner too.
Right. Which ultimately allows for a clearer, maybe less stressful, and just a much more enjoyable hunting experience for everybody involved.
That's the goal, right? Enjoy the hunt responsibly.
Absolutely. So here's a final thought to leave you with. We've established, and the article makes clear, hunting is definitely not a no-risk activity.
No argument there.
So consider this. How does taking this proactive stance, using something like liability insurance, transform the entire dynamic of your relationships with landowners? Not just for hunting, but maybe as a kind of model. A model for responsible engagement in any activity that involves shared resources or using someone else's private property.
That's interesting. Applying that proactive responsibility framework elsewhere.
Yeah. What other areas of your life, your interests, maybe even things like accessing fishing spots or using trails, could benefit from thinking about responsibility and liability up front like this? Something to mull over.